Cue the show.
What's up, folks? This is Miliak from TATN Sports, inviting you to Monday night show. We're going to have NCAA tournament discussion, talking about two Chicago area teams. Illinois Fighting Illini from downstate Urbana, and from the heart of Chicago, the Loyola Ramblers. Can either of these teams bring NCAA tournament glory to the Chicago area? On the national scene, we got the Gonzaga Zags. Used to be bracket busters, and now they are bracket darlings with a big old bullseye on their backs. Believe it or not, the Zags are trying to become the first undefeated NCAA tournament champion since the 1992 Duke Blue Devils. In our special feature segment, we're going to look back on some great NCAA tournament moments with some big shot makers made some big shots. We'll see how those shots affected their careers, negatively or positively. And AD's coming to Chicago. That's right, folks. AD's coming to Chicago. You heard it here at TATN Sports. In our editorial section, we will discuss AD coming to Chicago. So make sure you tune in Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And we'll look forward to seeing you then. TATN Sports with Miliak. It'll be a good one.
What up, America? How y'all doing tonight, man? This is our second show. This is Miliak, the Sports Fanatic. Letting y'all know, if your bracket ain't busted, you didn't play a bracket. There go mine right here, dog. Y'all just heard it in the promo, man. Loyola versus Illinois. Sounded like something awesome, guys. But guess what happened? Only one team showed up. We thought we were going to get a classic battle. We had one Chicago area team ready to play the game, y'all. Later on in the show, we're going to explain. Have you ever heard of the show with my man Hill Harper called How It Really Happened? Well, we got a segment with Faction Miliak going to tell you why it really happened. Because they're going to tell you one thing with the eye test, and I'm going to tell you what I saw. The pundits can spin it any way they want. But what I saw yesterday, we'll dive into a little further in our next segment. But let's have a recap on this past week's sports scene. First of all, we are going to talk a little bit of NCAA tournament. Not everything was results on the court. Some of it was results off the court. We had a team that had to forfeit their tournament because of COVID. They did not get into detail and tell us if there was a contract tracing issue or players violated COVID protocol. I looked at my bracket. Yeah, I have picked VCU. I've been a big VCU fan ever since Shaka Smart. But yes, I picked VCU. They lost 1-0. 1-0. The next bracket, Oregon advanced. Oregon was allowed to go to the next round because one team did what they were supposed to do, and one team was bumped by the NCAA. Before the tournament started, we were told that as long as you could put 5 players on the court, you'd be allowed to play. So obviously, the situation was so bad with that team, as far as positive tests, contract tracing issues, and failure to follow the COVID protocol in the bubble, that the team was not able to play. I played a little competitive sports, and I can imagine, because normally the NCAA tournament is the pinnacle of your college career. So I can imagine if I were a player who did what I was supposed to do, or if I were an administrative member that did what I was supposed to do, and one of my teammates decided they were going to do what they wanted to do. So I want to give a big shout out to the kids that did what they were supposed to do, and a big disappointing face to the kids that did what they weren't supposed to do. Because regardless of why it happened, it's a shame that those kids were not allowed to compete, as they say, on no fault of their own. Also last week, of course, we got some injuries going on in the sports thing. Oh man, LBJ. That's right, King. I call him the old man LBJ. Yes, I am surprised and at all of his athletic prowess still these days. But I've watched sports for quite some time. One of these injuries are going to have to stick, or we're watching the bionic man play basketball. The guy's been playing almost 20 years. Almost 20 years in the NBA, that is. Played club ball for quite some time. Played, or even when he was on the high school scene, he was basically on the pro circuit. Team played almost 40, 50 games some season. Traveled. But the man got a lot of age on him. What I'm hearing is he's looking as good as ever. We know he invests a lot of money in his body, which is the way he makes a living. But Father Time is undefeated. He's going to twist that ankle one day and it's going to lead to something else. Laker fans held their breath. LeBron came out of the game. They say scans were negative, MRIs were negative. So it is going to be a day-to-day thing, out indefinitely. Anthony Davis is already out with the Lakers. So the defending champions are going to have some players step up off the bench. Kyle Kuzma, Morris Twin, presently the reigning sixth man of the year, Montrezl Harrell. These guys are going to have to put some work in. A lot of people are saying, guess a lot of the Lakers don't. It doesn't matter as long as they're healthy when they get to the finals, yada, yada, because, and there is some validity to that because there won't be a lot of traveling going on. I think that the way they're going to do the playoffs is pretty much, you would probably be at one venue when you play. I doubt these guys are traveling back and forth. Probably won't be packed houses. But at the same time, guess what? Having home court or having the best record is going to give you some sort of advantage. Otherwise, there's no reason to keep a record. So if the NBA has not decided how they're going to use the seeding, or if the Lakers are not worried about who they're going to play if they're the top seed, God bless them. But if I were a Laker fan, I'd be worried. And just like if I were a Brooklyn Net fan, I'd be worried. Kevin Durant came out like gangbusters. Hey, the boy is bad. Ain't no doubt that KD is a bad boy. But coming off an Achilles and now being out and day-to-day inactive with a thigh injury or a calf injury or any lower body injury is not a good look right now. When you watch Brooklyn play, man, you got Kyrie and James Harden out there. And when you put KD out there, it's literally playing a video game, folks. But that's what the makeup is, those three, not just them two. So if it's not going to be those three, what are we to expect from Brooklyn? Should they have given up Karis LeVert to get James Harden? Should they have given up the big guy in the middle, I believe Mikey Moore, something of that sort? Should they have given these guys up? I guess time will tell. But I'm really counting on, every time I say I'm counting on, I remember back in the day, man, I was counting on the Kobe versus LeBron James in their prime championship. And whenever you start counting on, I was counting on the Lakers Brooklyn championship this year because, man, we were going to have Hall of Famers everywhere. We were going to be entertained every night. And the game's always better when the players are healthy. But I just don't know if it's going to happen this time, America. I'm not sure. But we'll keep our eye on the injury situation in the NBA. Also moving on, wasn't much movement going on with the NFL, but there were some re-signings. Dak Prescott got taken care of finally. Let's see. Russell Wilson decided he wouldn't be going to the Chicago Bears, which were basically the only team of the four that he said he would go to that had the capability of signing him. Looking at talent to give up, they wanted a lot. But looking at what you'd have to give up to get a Russell Wilson, and looking at the salary cap. All you got to do is cut Trubisky, give up some draft picks, Give up probably a couple starters on the defensive team, on the defensive side. And then you got, in Chicago, 10 victories per season. That's what Russell Wilson is. That is what Russell Wilson is. But he won't be bringing his goodies to Chicago. That's right, Sierra. I said it. He won't be bringing his goodies to Chicago, man. Why it didn't happen, I'm not quite sure. But I hear Chicago fans are fired up, and now they is off, as they should be. So, Bear fans, if you really want to show Mama McCaskey how mad you are, stop supporting that team. There are a lot of speculation of why we don't sign a Russell Wilson or Jameis Wilson or some of these guys when they're available, or Cam Newton. These guys are established players. But I'm not going to go there right now, why they don't. But if I were a Bear fan, and I am a Bear fan, so it's not if I were, because I am. But if I were in a position where I could support that team with my dollars every weekend, I would cease and desist on doing that. Because guess what? It's like the Cub factor before they got Theo, man. You keep filling up them seats, keep buying them jerseys. Man, I went to an LA Ram and Bears game last year. Chicago fans came out, and they had on their Trubisky jersey. They had on, well, you can have your Mac on because he's a baller. But they had them Bears jerseys on, man, and I was just counting the dollars like, this team ain't did crap in years. But yet, Bear Nation is dropping the dollars to support that team. You got to stop, man. You got to stop. You got to make them hire a real GM, a real coach, start bringing real players in, i.e. Russell Wilson, 10 victories per season. And then you spend the dollar. You can't have the egg before the chicken shot down. I'm just telling you, man. Last week also, we had the delay of the baseball season. Right now, minor league baseball is being delayed. Some minor league teams have canceled season. We got spring training going on. Not sure what baseball is going on. So it seems like sports might want to slow down and let COVID vaccinations, COVID protocols, and the stuff that the country's trying to get done catch up. Let things catch up before we move on. And then we can all pack stadiums. Then we can go out and support the teams like we want to. But as long as we don't follow the delays, you see what I did there? As long as we try to rush things on America, I'm not sure if we're going to get the ultimate goal, which we call a regular society of sports. So, you know, there are things that we can do as a sports fan, like you're doing right now, tuning in to watch Miliak, to keep you informed on what's going on with the sports scene. But there are also things that the professional sports scene can do. They can slow it up a little bit because it's really not going anywhere. Our health is more important. Our nation's health is more important. And right now, I feel like these things are colliding. So later on, we got a couple segments. One of them is called, again, have you ever heard of Harper Hill or Hill Hopper and how it really happened? We're going to tell you why it really happened in our next segment. And you will probably love, or maybe not love, depending on your view of this next segment, telling you how things really, really, really did happen. And I'm talking about the game in the Chicago area, folks. I hear some folks up barbecuing and everything to get ready for this. And guess what? We did not have the result on one side, but the other side did have the result that they wanted. So coming up on that segment, you're going to try to get the facts from Miliak, and he's going to tell you why what happened happened. Hit it, DJ.
Yeah. Next video. Good job, production.
Shout out, shout out, shout out. First of all, shout out to the production team doing an awesome job tonight. Shout out also, guys, to the Self-Love Show. Tory Wordsmith and 9 Mills, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Self-Love Show, guys. Them the homies, man. And they gonna tell you what they really think, man. This show right here is rare, it's unique, and it's for our community. So make sure you are not denying yourself the self-love show. Check it out, folks. I want to say a little bit of something about our content and some of the images that you see on this show as this show goes on. You guys just saw a little clip of a movie that's very, very near and dear to the heart of the Black community, Coming to America. And when we show you that clip, what we telling you, folks, guess what? We not that. You want the Big Mick? Go get the Big Mick. If you want Miliak, sports fanatic, you where you supposed to be at. So when we showing you that content, we telling you can get with this and you can get with that. This ain't that. This is it. Those guys that they showing, you might see a young guy with like a little turquoise windbreaker on. Guess who that is? That is, if you don't know, that is the late great Ben Wilson. The late great Ben Wilson, guys. If you were anywhere in the 80s, Chicago area, you know who Ben Wilson is. If you know about national basketball in the 80s, you know who Ben Wilson is. But for those who don't know, Ben Wilson was tragically taken from us back in the day by senseless violence in front of his high school or down the street from his high school. I'm not going to say the name of the high school. We all know the name of the high school. Great high school. Put out some great ballers. D-Rose and all these guys come up out of there. And repeating the name of the high school, I think put that high school in a bad light. What happened in the neighborhood happened in the neighborhood. You know, it was young and dumb stuff. Young, dumb stuff happened. All I can say is RIP to Ben Wilson, because Ben Wilson was like Superman in my neighborhood, man. We was young, man. If Ben was up at the park, dog, we ran up to the park, climbed up the pole with a sucker or something. Man, you got entertained, dog. You got entertained. You got entertained. Besides Ben Wilson on that image, you also saw the great Cassius Clay / Muhammad Ali. Back in the day, man, when boxing was boxing and heavyweights fought heavyweights, and it didn't take 4 or 5 years to get a fight together. These guys fought each other practically every weekend. When I talk about superheroes, I said Ben Wilson was like, man, Muhammad Ali was a superhero. And he didn't cost $99.95 on pay-per-view checkout. We would go home on the weekends and it was must-see TV. Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali versus ... Ian Norton, George Frazier, Jerry Coney. Remember that guy's name? But they would fight every weekend, man, on ABC, Wide World of Sports. Didn't need no cable link. Didn't need 10,000 promoters to put the fight together. All you needed was, as Miliak said, the eye test. And you were entertained. Once again, folks, you were entertained. So when you see those images, Michael Jordan, I don't even have to say anymore. These are GOATs. These are great sports figures that have shaped the way I look at sports. Ben Wilson, absolutely. Muhammad Ali, absolutely. Michael Jordan, absolutely. So we're not just tossing things up there. We're giving you a look into the mindset of the host and the mindset of the network. So our next segment, we're going to move on into not how it really happened, why it really happened. 5 Bachelor Miliak. Y'all said me try me tear that bracket up at the beginning of the show, man. We're going to get to why the Illini. Listen, congratulations, Loyola Ramblers fans, Loyola Nation. Got no hate on Loyola. But Illini were the better team. I'm not the only one who thought so. They were a #1 seed. So there's a reason this happened. You can say, oh, the better team showed up on that day. Of course, they were better than them on that day, but things happened. The first thing that happened was there were too many turnovers. Tons of turnovers by the Illini. Some of them, quite a few of them, unforced. Players being in a rush. I blame some of the turnovers to get this. Check this. The game was too early. I don't care what you say. If I got to wake up and watch it at 9 o'clock, that means those kids was up early. 9 o'clock. I get it 9 o'clock my time, but 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock is too early, man. Are you kidding me? You're a number one seed. You got to get up and play at 11 o'clock in the morning. That don't sound like you are a number one seed. To me, it sounds like you getting the short end of the straw, because that's what happened. How are you going to go play at 11 o'clock? That's not fair. And they played like they were still asleep. Turnovers here, turnovers there. IU did not look like IU. And there were some situations going on that didn't look like the team that I had been watching. That team was trending up. The team was playing better than just about anybody in the nation. So, that's number one of Miliak's back. Numero two, Underwood overestimated his young guard, Carbello. Carbello's a baller. I'll give it to him. He was the sixth man of the year in the Big Ten. But he is not IU. IU DeSamu is hands down to Miliak, or was hands down the best player in college basketball this past season. Hands down. 25-5 is what he averaged. If you all stuck on NBA numbers, man, yada yada, you might, oh, that's not college. That is balling. The man had, I believe, 2, if not 3, triple doubles this season. Nobody's done that in the Big Ten since, I believe, Martin Cleaves or maybe Denzel Valentine. A couple of those guys played at Michigan State. 25-5, basically stood in the corner like he was Damon Bailey from the Indiana Hoosiers, waiting for the ball. That's what IU did. Samu was put in a position as though he were a wing shooter. If you go back and watch that game, he sat there in shoot position, waiting to get the ball from Carbello. This guy has the height to see over the entire defense, the handle to get around the entire defense, the handle to get the entire defense in foul trouble, the shooting ability to get to where he wants to get, and again, the athletic skill set to go up against anybody. But yet, the coach stopped believing his own hype. Underwood decided, because the team trended up sort of in the last two games while Carbello was off the court, that he believed he's the smartest guy in the building. I'm going to put Carbello out there and throw Loyola off their game. If you ask the Ramblers, who would you rather have facing or bringing the ball up over half court, Carbello or IU DeSamu, you think the Ramblers are going to say, DeSamu? Hell no. So when Underwood is saying, ha, 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 I got you now, Carbello's going to play them minutes. Carbello is a freshman trying to find his way. IU is a seasoned veteran who's pretty much seen it all. You're in the NCAA tournament, man. That's what these kids play for. If he has a slow start, meaning IU, he turns the ball over 3 times. I don't care if he turns it over in double digits. This guy got you to the dance, like they say. You dance with the ones that got you there. And for some reason, the coach wanted to yo-yo his best player, 25-5, consensus, first team, All-American. But that's not what Underwood saw. Underwood wanted to be the smartest guy in the gym, and his ass got out-coached. Another reason, Hinkle Fieldhouse. You guys seen Hoosiers. If you've seen Hoosiers, I should just, that's it. So we're going to go play in Hinkle Fieldhouse, says the Illini, against the Loyola Ramblers, who got Jimmy Chatwoods all up and down their goddamn roster. Jimmy Chatwoods all up and down their roster. So when you got to wake up at 11 o'clock and go to Hinkle Fieldhouse and play a team that don't look nothing like you start thinking you in the movie. And you can say the NCAA like, oh man, they like matchups, man, in inner schools. That's all good. You can say that, but I start feeling like somebody's against me, man. If I got to go to Hinkle, play against 12 Jimmy Chatwood at 11 o'clock in the morning, Come on, man. And my coach don't want to play the best player and give him the ball for 85, 90% of the game? Come on, man. That's number 4. Why it happened? Hinkle field out. Sounds like we don't want to play up in there. Hinkle. Jimmy Chadwood. And the last back by Miliak of why it really happened. Love it to death. Y'all know what I'm about to say. 101-year-old Sister Jean. America found out about Sister Jean back during the Ramblers' run to the Final Four in 2018. Wonderful young lady. Wonderful. I just grin when I think about her sitting in front of the TV, rooting and watching her Ramblers. But Sister Jean got a secret weapon, which gives the loyal Ramblers a secret weapon. Sister Jean, she got, you remember that red phone that Commissioner Gordon used to have to call Batman? That's the phone Sister Jean got. And guess who she called? G.O.D. The man himself. I'm not going to say you cheated because you can't cheat when you go with the man himself. But it might have been a little unfair. That's right, Sister Jean. You know, I was always told, man, you don't pray for things for yourself. You don't pray for stuff for yourself. And, you know, we do prayers, you know, pray for health, you know, before we play a game good. You know, we hope everybody's healthy, you know, other thing, you know, good sportsmanship. Sister Jean prayed for victory to the man himself on the red phone. She got specific. She told the man himself in her prayer, listen, Lord, please let my team do well out there today against this good team. This team does not shoot layups. When this team does not shoot layups over, I believe, 30%, or no, I'm sorry, 50%, and three-pointers over 30%, our defense can take care of them. Guess what happened? Illinois shot 50% from the field. Most of them, a lot of Miss Bunnies. Illinois shot under 30% from three-point range. Nobody looked like they had anything going on from distance. One guy, I believe Williams, had a couple three-pointers. And the Illini scored 23 points under their season average of 71 points. So Sister Jean called on her support to support her team. And guess what? The Illini did not have a chance. So when you count those 5 facts from Miliak, it was predetermined. I heard the guy say during the game, I don't know if this is divine intervention or what. I think it might have been Jim Nance, one of those guys. I don't know if this is divine. He was thinking the same thing I was thinking. Sister Jean was over in that wheelchair with a mask on because she, you know, COVID aware. She's been vaccinated. Over there in her wheelchair, cold chill. 5 facts from Miliak. That's why it happened, folks. Turnovers, right? Coach Underwood thinking he's the smartest guy in the gym for no reason whatsoever. Going into Jimmy Chadwood land, other words, Hinkle Fieldhouse, playing early as heck. Good old Sister Jean praying to the man himself. If you got to play against all that, Illini Nation, you didn't have a shot. So guess what? In our next segment, you might have seen us in our promo, letting you know that AD is on his way to Chicago. With my rant / editorial to end today's show, I'm going to tell you about AD coming to Chicago. So you folks get ready. And we're going to have our top 5 before we do our editorial rant. I'm sorry, folks. We're going to have our top 5 NCAA moments coming up next, okay? Peace out.
Attention everyone, introducing Sayriga Africa's all-new cell phone touchscreen crossbag. This bag enables you to be able to talk, text, and email without coming fully in contact with the screen, making it coronavirus safe. This bag makes your phone easily accessible, being around your neck, which means no more misplacing your phone. This crossbag also protects your phone from any fall damage, so no more money spent to fix screens. The bag is also waterproof too, which means no more water damage. This bag also has compartments to store items such as cards and IDs. These are easily accessible as well as the phone. So buy now at sayricaafrica.com.
Unmute yourself.
What up? What up? What up, America? Hey, audience. You might have thought you was about to get that AD story right now. But right now, we got that top 5 that I promised you. Where are they now segment? We got 5 great game-winning shots in NCAA tournament history. And we're going to tell you what these players are doing now and how those shots affected their careers, positively or negatively. We'll let you decide. Production, run that whenever you're ready.
Yes, sir.
Number 5.
Production, please cut volume down. Thank you, production.
Tyus Edney, 4.8 seconds. I remember watching this game live. Tyus Edney, coast to coast. Didn't know somebody could get coast to coast with a basketball in under 5 seconds. Let's slow that up, production, and let's harp on it. So, Tyus Edney, 1995, Missouri versus UCLA. Under 5 seconds to go. UCLA trailing 74-73. Tyus Edney gets the inbound pass. Nowadays, what we got players looking for, I'm going to take one step over half court and I'm full. Tyus Edney 5'10" and was a blur. So Tyus Edney was able to get that ball, put his head down, and fly. Got a quality shot with under 5 seconds left, took his team to the next round, birthed into the Sweet 16. Tyus Edney was from a high school that's near and dear to my heart. Graduate of Long Beach Polytech High School, where my daughter attends right now. So I got a special love for the Jackrabbits. He is now 48 years old. He has gone on to coach, play professionally in both the NBA and overseas, and his career coaching at the college level. Right now, Tyus Edney is not in coaching, but his career numbers are 7.6 points. This is NBA career, 4 assists, and 1.5 steals per game. He was a second-team all-rookie selection. He was drafted in the 2nd round by the Sacramento Kings, 41st overall. Did that shot affect him negatively, positively, or not at all? Well, from the eye test of Miliak, I watched Tyus Edney play college basketball pre-shot. And he was a pretty effective point guard. He played with some talented players. That UCLA Bruin team was pretty deep. They had some shooters. I believe they had a guy named Toby Bailey. They had the O'Bannon boys. Don't think Barron was on that squad, but they had a highly rated coach who was out of Pittsburgh, Ben Harlan, and they played some hell of a defense. That's what that UCLA team did. And people think West Coast basketball, coast to coast, pretty basketball, but that UCLA team played defense. Tyus Edney would have gone or would have been drafted in approximately 2nd round had he not made that shot. Or had he passed the ball to Ed O'Bannon, made that shot. Did it change the way Tyus Edney played his game? Did it give him a confidence that made his game go to another level? I didn't see that from Tyus Edney. It made him a household name in the Los Angeles area and in the college basketball scene. But I'm not quite sure it gave him a status of, I feel like I can do things that I didn't feel like I could do before because of the confidence that shot gave me. That's what we're grading this on when I say 4.5. So, Tyus Edney, decent NBA career, not just a subpar, but I can't say that he underachieved. Because before he hit that shot, he looked like that's about what he was. Maybe a second round, late second round pick. Maybe play a couple years in the league, average a few points. Maybe make a second or third team rookie team. Parlay that into a possible coaching or a college career. Parlay that into a career overseas. And as an athlete, that's what you want. So there's no shame in what Tyus Edney did with that shot. It just did not propel him. He steadied out, but it gave him some name recognition. Okay, let's roll the next one, production team, number 4. Here, we got Indiana University versus Syracuse University. Look at Derek Coleman. That's my man right there, boy. But y'all know Derek Coleman ain't gonna make this free throw. Boys, he's short.
Indiana can win it.
So here we go. Keith Smart. Didn't know what Keith Smart was before.
Smart takes the shot.
Pretty much was touching the shot. That's not true, though. I follow Big Ten basketball. That's a pretty looking shot right there. Up. Confident. You miss that shot, you lose. You make that shot, you win it all. That wasn't a shot to tie the game. That was not a shot to tie the game. That was a shot for all the beans, baby. Keith Smart made that shot. Keith Smart was one of the first junior college recruits that Indiana University went and got. Indiana University, prestigious, blue blood, didn't even recruit junior college players. Till Bobby Knight started getting that ass kicked and didn't have no athleticism. He went and recruited 2-time JUCO Player of the Year out of the Kansas area, KC Junior College, Keith Smart. Keith Smart led Indiana in scoring. Keith Smart was an effective basketball player. Keith Smart was a smart basketball player. They had a term back then, Jordan type. Jordan type. They didn't call him poor man Jordan. You were just Jordan. Roy Marble know what I'm talking about. You were Jordan type. Kendall Gill was a Jordan type. A Jordan type was, you kind of play like Jordan. Do you see that Keith Smart? No, but they would call him a Jordan type. He wasn't tall, 6'4". But he played 2 guard. He played both ways. He had a good mid-range jumper, and that's about what it compares in. So Keith Smart ended up being drafted in 1998, the second round, 40th overall. And he played 2 games in the NBA. 2, not 2 seasons, 2 games. He got drafted by the San Antonio Spurs. I believe he got drafted, he got drafted by the, San Antonio Spurs. I'm correct. No, I'm sorry, the Golden State Warriors. He got drafted by the Warriors. He made 2 appearances. He later played for the Spurs. So in 2 stints, he made 2 game appearances. He averaged career 1 point a game, half an assist, and 1 steal. Half a steal and 1 assist. So let's go over those numbers again. 1 point, half an assist, and 1 steal per game in 2 appearances. Did that shot propel Keith Smart? Not. I mean, that's obvious. I just don't get numbers, America. But Keith Smart, again, was able to parlay that into some name recognition. I am not sure if Keith Smart would have gotten drafted if he had not hit that shot. Getting drafted to the NBA gives you an opportunity to parlay that cachet. So again, Keith Smart did not take that shot. It didn't give him an unmatched confidence. It didn't give scouts something that they hadn't seen before from Keith Smart. It gave him some name recognition that I still remember to this day. Keith Smart was able to parlay that into a lot like Tyus Edney, getting drafted, getting on a couple of NBA rosters, eventually coaching in the NBA for prestigious teams. I mean, teams now known name-wise around the world. He coached with the New York Knicks, I believe, an assistant for the San Antonio Spurs, He's did some stints in the WNBA, Fort Wayne and such. So again, and he played, professionally overseas. Again, got drafted, took that for what it was worth, took those appearances, parlayed that into something he could support his family with. I ain't mad at him or Ty Setton. You make a big shot, it's not necessarily going to make you into the GOAT. But you better do something with it. Keith Smart took that and ran with it. So props out to Keith Smart. Right now, he's not in basketball at all. He just has a family. And we wish him good luck moving forward. Let's roll number 3. Number 3, production.
Remember, they have a team in there to block anything that goes inside. Down to 14 seconds. Oh, almost stolen by Drexler. Boy, is he good at that.
Take a look at Hakeem Olajuwon.
Down to 7
Look in the hole.
You can see the time.
Look at Hakeem in the hole. Man, guess what? When that shot, when Lorenzo Charles took that ball, I looked just like Hakeem Olajuwon looked for about 3 weeks. Look at the king. You're like, what had happened? What had happened? I looked like that for 2 or 3 weeks. If you're a college basketball fan, you remember where you were when that happened. Let's lay it down and tell y'all what happened. Derek Whittenburg, who had a great run in the NCAA tournament, shot that air ball against the Houston 5 Slammer Jammers. Houston 5 Slammer Jammer did not try to beat you. Houston 5 Slammer Jammer tried to embarrass you. If it could be dunked, they was going to dunk on your ass. The 5 Slammer Jammer was must-see TV, dog. That team was bad. And that team was exciting. That team played above the rim, and that team had Hall of Famers, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, and Clyde Drexler. And those guys, and they also had some other athletes. Those guys would dunk on you. Five Slammer Jammer wasn't just a name because it was cool. It was what they did. Those guys would poke, like we say in the hood, poke on your ass. So, Derek Whittenburg, who had been on, he had a sweet jumper, man. I was a Whittenburg type. Remember I told you about Jordan type? Whittenburg was a little overweight. I was a Whittenburg type, man. Streaky. Didn't think there was a shot I could not make. When Whittenburg got going, Whittenburg got going. So when you look at that video, you say, why that dude shoot from half court? That didn't happen. We didn't have Damon Lillard and Steph Curry and shit. LeBron James taking a step over half court. Very few players had the cachet to pull up from that distance. Derek Whittenburg did. Did nobody pull their hair out when he pulled up and did that shot? We thought that shot was going to hit rim and had a thought it might go in. That's why Hakeem and them wasn't really tripping running for it. And that guy been putting up like that on that entire run. NC State went on a run, and I think Derek Whittenburg and Sidney Lowe, they backcourt, got the ball in. Thurl Bailey was the power forward, and Jimmy V was the coach. If you watched ACC basketball back in the day like I did, man, that shit was a religion. And Jimmy V was the guy. So when Whittenburg shot that shot, man, thought they had a chance of going in. Somebody didn't box out. And guess what? Derek Whittenburg snuck up in there and grabbed that ball, man, and alley-oop that stuff, man. Everybody mouth down, Hakeem was down, everybody down, We were stunned. But guess what? It happened. It happened. That's why they play the games, America. That's why they play the game. So Lorenzo Charles, great moment. Lorenzo Charles was a role player on that team. Sophomore, I believe he was at that time. Averaged 8 points that season. What did Lorenzo Charles do with that? Lorenzo Charles wasn't going to he didn't declare that year. That was back in the day when you played 3, maybe 4 years. So Lorenzo Charles returned for his junior year. Did he take that dunk and compel it into something? Now, Lorenzo Charles was a good player coming out of high school. He's pretty highly recruited. But again, he's a role player on that team because he played with seniors, Thurl Bailey, Sidney Lowe, Derek Wittenberg, and a couple other guys. And he played with most of the upper class. But he took that dunk, and the next year, he averaged 18 points a game. Went from 8 points to 18. And then the season after that, the senior year, he averaged 18 points. So he propelled that and took that, and he took that name recognition as be scared of me, America. He took that and propelled it. How far did it go? 2 years in college. That, I'm going to make up a word. Propellation did not translate into the NBA. Lorenzo Charles was 6'7", had some nice weight on him, but he was a tweener. You know, he played some 3 and some 4, but Thurl Brady played the 4 mostly. But Lorenzo Charles took that, and guess what? That 18 points did. If he had continued to average 8 points a game, America, he probably wouldn't have got drafted. Because 8 points coming out of, college, you don't get drafted. But 18 points coming out of college, you get drafted. So Lorenzo Charles was eventually drafted by the Atlanta Hawks. Second round. 40th overall pick. You see a trend here. Pretty much these guys are going second round somewhere overall, 40th overall pick. That's what we got from Ty Zandy. That's what we have from Keith Martin. That's what we got from Lorenzo Charles. Here's where the similarity stops, America. Tragically, Lorenzo Charles passed. Okay? Lorenzo Charles passed. He's no longer with us. Rest in peace, Lorenzo Charles. But he did get drafted by the Atlanta Hawks. Had played a couple seasons in the NBA, and then pretty much disappeared from the basketball scene. Did not go into the overseas scene. Did not go into the college scene. What Lorenzo Charles did do was he went home. He took his ball and went home. So I guess the man was at peace with himself. The way he died tragically was driving a bus. He was driving a bus on Interstate 40, was in an accident, and died at the scene. I don't know if he was a passenger or the bus driver, or if he was the bus driver, but I am not sure if it was a school bus, if it was a line of work, if it was a public bus. But he was the driver of the bus. He died at the scene, tragically, on Interstate 40. Somebody tried to give him CPR on the side of the road, and he expired. This happened in 2011, so he's not been with us in close to 10 years now. So, Lorenzo Charles, rest in peace, brother. You gave me a great moment with that dunk, but I still wish you wasn't there. I still want 5'11" Gavin with you. Let's get the number one moment. Prop it up. Let's go. I probably ain't got to tell y'all that one. Number 2. We're going to get to that. But Christian Laettner, this guy, Duke versus Kentucky. We're going to get to the number one moment.
UCLA did it in 1973.
One of the things I've seen Duke do in the past in situations like this is try for the quick pass to half court and call a quick timeout so they can get.
We got Grant Hill, Duke versus Kentucky, regional final, all the way to the Final Four. Laettner, wow. Once again, me being the basketball fan I remember I was watching this. I probably pretty much looked like Thomas Hill right there. Was not a big Duke fan. The brothers, we wasn't big Duke fans, man.
We talked about a quick pass.
Well, I was a Grant Hill fan, but we was not a big Duke fan. Christian Laettner, I think the pass was more impressive than the shot. He caught it. He did a little fake on Pelfrey. He had a 15-footer in front of the dotted line.
Oh,
but
Laettner.
Guess what? Christian Laettner had props before that. Christian Laettner was born with the basketball silver spoon in his mouth. The basketball silver spoon. Parade All-American. Drafted by Duke. Wooden Player of the Year honor. Overrated by everybody who did, every basketball pundit in America. Great White Hope status. Was not the best player on that team. Was a pretty good player. Should not have been on that first dream team instead of Shaq. One of the great injustices in the sports world. But Christian Laettner was anointed the Great White Hope with a silver spoon. So Christian Laettner got the opportunity and took the opportunity. The pass was great, greater than the shot. But the shot, which was a makeable shot, was executed. That's what I'll say. It was executed. That's what he should have did. Did Christian Laettner take that and propel that to new heights? Christian Laettner was the Final Four MVP. Christian Laettner had led Duke to an upset of the great UNLV Running Rebels the season before that. Christian Laettner's team was undefeated. So Christian Laettner was already being offered positions on the Dream Team. So once again, Christian Laettner was already anointed special status. So when he went in the first round with the number 3 overall pick, he would have gone there if that shot had said, doink. It was what it was. And he was what he was. Christian Laettner's stats, well, he won. Well, let me see. When he was drafted, turned out he got NBA all-rookie team. He did not win Rookie of the Year. He made one All-Star appearance. He averaged 12.8 games, 12.8 points in his career. Averaged 7.7 rebounds in his career and about 2.5 assists. Did not parlay that into being Larry Bird, which was what America hoped for him. It didn't happen. And guess what? That status as most hated player in the country as a collegiate athlete, they made a documentary about this guy. He was the most hated player in the NBA too. They made a documentary or a 30 for 30 called Why I Hate Christian Laettner, something like that. So it wasn't just you. It was felt on all sides, white, black, yellow, brown, green, UNLV fan, U of I fan. Did not matter. The guy was one of those guys who liked to wear the black hat. Played with a smirk, played with a nasty attitude. Probably wouldn't have mind having him as a teammate. He was a jerk. Continued to be a jerk. It continued to be it turned out to be one of the all-time grifters in the NBA. Scottie Pippen's wife, Larsa Pippen, said Christian Laettner beat her and her husband out of $2.5 million. I'm just saying, $2.5 million. She want her money. She put some stuff on social media. Christian Laettner. Me and Scotty want our money. Maybe her, Scotty, and Method Man want the money now. I don't know about her, but I just know he beat them out some money. It wasn't just her, some other celebrities too. So Christian Laettner took that and parlayed it into a career as a shyster, grifter. That's what he did with his name recognition. Hey, I'm Christian Laettner, trust me. Shame on you, America. Number 1 is coming up. I think we finally got there. Rolling production team, number 1.
Oh,
Top
Laettner. I thought
player.
Laettner should have been number 1. Oh, Laettner.
Get out of here. Get out of the production. North Carolina versus Georgetown. Who's going to be on this shot? I think Jimmy Black might have shot that. Or was it Worthy? It was the freshman, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. That's right. Look at that, y'all. This is sort of a skip pass. That's what they call that, a skip pass. I call it a skip pass because nobody was really in between that. The great skip pass. And this was one of the great moments in NBA history as well. Jordan's shot would have been forgotten if Pat Ewing would have went down and alley jumped that ball off of a pass from Michael Jackson. Yeah, Michael Jackson played that game. It was a thriller too, y'all. But Michael Jeffrey Jordan, numero uno. I don't even know if I had to tell y'all that was the number 1 shot of all time. Where did that propel Michael Jeffrey Jordan to? It told y'all about him, America, because I already knew. Michael Jordan was already the best basketball player, probably in the world in my eyes at that moment. And I'm including NBA players. He was that good. Ask Bobby Knight, who coached him on the Olympics. Ask his peers who coached him in college. Ask anybody who saw Michael Jeffrey Jordan up close. I watched in ACC basketball religiously at that time on ESPN. And guess what? He was hands down. The man broke his wrist and he played one hand in his junior season for, I believe, 14 games. Boy, was he good. Boy, was he good. Michael Jeffrey Jordan hit that shot. That was called for him. It wasn't a scramble. Coach Dean Smith, rest in peace, coach, told the team, this is what we're going to run. We're going to look for Sam. We're going to take a look at James. And Michael, you be ready for when we swing that ball. Mike said, that's what they call him Mike, y'all. Mike said, I'll be ready to knock it down, coach. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, who always had a chip on his shoulder, was ready to shoot. Because Michael Jeffrey Jordan was thinking at that time, he was sitting there thinking, man, if I hit this shot, ooh, buddy. Was he really thinking what the ramifications of him hitting that shot, what was going to make him? I'm not sure. But he always had the confidence, bro. America, Michael Jeffrey Jordan always had the confidence. I watched him. He had no doubt that shot was going to go in when he shot. And what it did, it put him on the national conscience. It made the Chicago Bulls have to draft him. The Bulls wanted to trade that pick, move up, get Sam Bowles. Because we all knew Akeem Olajuwon was going first. Mistake. Porter was talking about getting Sam Bowles second. Mistake, because they had Clyde Drexler. I wouldn't care if I had Akeem Olajuwon. I was about to say something like Kareem Howard combined, but I ain't going to stop person. I wouldn't have cared if I had Akeem Olajuwon if I was really watching. I would have drafted Michael Jordan and got what I could for Akeem. He was a awesome player. But Michael Jordan, you cannot pass on. And I knew that. So, thank you for hitting that shot, Michael, because that put pressure on Rod Thorne at that time to pick Michael Jordan. If Michael Jordan had not made that shot, if they had doinked, the Bulls would have traded down, moved up. What does that sound fair? Does that sound familiar, Bears Nation? Moving up one pick, giving up half the franchise. They would have moved up one pick, traded some players, and got Sam Bowles, who at the time everybody knew was injured and turned out to have an injury-plagued career. Never made an impact with the Portland Trailblazers. So when Jordan went on average, yeah, I got to look at the chart, folks. 31 points in his NBA career. 5.5 assists. 5.5 rebounds. 6-time champion. 6-time finals MVP. 5-time NBA MVP. 14-time All-Star. 3-time NBA All-Star MVP. 10-time All-NBA First Team. 9-time NBA All-Defensive Team. NBA Defensive Player of the Year. 10-time scoring leader. 3-time steals leader. I can't keep reading all that. Ain't enough room on my chart, man. But when he went on to do all that stuff, he was going to do that before he hit that shot, I think, because I was looking. But let's say it did propel him. What Michael Jordan would tell you is he was never afraid to fail. He knew that he would not make every shot, but he knew it was his job, LeBron James, to take that shot. You can't be the alpha dog when you want to. Passive aggressive, LeBron James, leadership is not what makes a GOAT. Michael Jordan, after hitting that shot, decided, guess what? The chips are going to fall on me when I play these games, and I'm going to live with it. God bless him. We know what Michael Jordan's doing now. If you don't, let me tell you real quick. It says simply when you Wikipedia at Jordan, he's an owner. Michael Jordan owns an NBA franchise. Need I say more? Because I will. Michael Jordan is a philanthropist to the Black community. Michael Jordan has continued to be a role model for NBA players, past, present, and future. And Michael Jordan has been a role model of mine since my youth. So, again, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Give it up for him, folks. The number one moment in NCAA history of all time. Coming back with an editorial rant from Miliak on our last segment. AD's coming to Chi-Town, folks. AD's coming to Chi-Town.
We're only going to play about 2 minutes of this production. 2 minutes of this. Got a house show, house music tomorrow.
I see house people. In your dreams? While you're awake? Walking around like Randy.
We got Kahari B, world-renowned poet, DJ, founder of The Debauchery Ball.
They don't know their house. When you see them.
Very proud to have him stepping in. Like house music. You're here tomorrow. Run that. We're going to get some real history. We cut down FBG Duck. Rest in peace, brother. Self-love
Then
show.
we got,
The self-love show tomorrow. You can keep it running, bro, because Miliak's not back. Debauchery Ball founder, Kohari B.
There he is.
Time production looks like he's back.
What's up, America? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Listen here, folks. We need you guys to like, share, and subscribe. It don't cost you nothing, man. So if you're making excuses not to like our content, share our content, subscribe to our content, why are you here? Because it's not going to cost you anything. If this is what you into, stuff that's not that network, stuff that's going to give you a unique point of view, is going to give you a sense of community, you should be like, sharing, and subscribing our content on this network. That's what I'm going to say to you, America. Like, share, and subscribe, okay? Shout out to the Self-Love Show. Make sure you folks are also watching that. Also, shout out to SayEurekaAfrica.com, where you can find African wear. Get wear from all around the world. Quality. March Madness sale is popping off right now. So, get with it. Don't be cheap, America. If you're not going to like, share, subscribe, what you here for? We need your support so we can continue to do our thing. I would also thank our production company tonight. Production, you're doing a great job. And I want you folks to stick with us. We're going to have some hiccups on the way. This is our second show. And we're going to get smoother and smoother every week. So bear with us. Bear with me, your host. Bear with our production team. And let's just keep getting it cracking. Our editorial rank. I've been telling y'all all day long, actually in the promos I started telling y'all, that AD is coming to Chicago, right? AD is coming to Chicago. Now, I didn't say who AD was. Just said he was coming. If you've been paying attention, you know who AD is. Andrew Mickey Picky Dalton is coming to Chicago. He is coming. Russell Wilson is not bringing his goodies to Chicago. Shout out to Sierra and Russell. I don't know what happened. The Bears were in the game. The Bears took their football and went home. The Bears don't want to win 10 games per season. The Bears want to sign quarterbacks with the nickname the Red Rocket. Sounds like a guy I played with in third grade at Ray School. What is the Red Rocket? Well, the Red Rocket is Andy Dalton, who played for the Cincinnati Bengals, been in the league quite some time. Career passer quarterback rating 88.7. Has won maybe one postseason game. Because the knock on the Bengals was they'd win their division every year, and they had never won postseason games. So the Bears went and got this winner. The Bears went and got this guy to satisfy you, America, or Bear Nation. And they got the guy with the contingent of he will not even have to compete for a starting job. The job is his. Nick Folks can't say no. Trubisky is a free agent if he hasn't been traded already. The Red Rocket has the cachet to tell the Bears, I will sign with you only if I don't have to compete for that position. That's where we are right now, Bear Nation. So as I said in the beginning piece, stop spending the money on the jersey. Stop lining up getting the season ticket. Demand a capable general manager. Hell, demand that Mama McCaskey, who all the pundits hold with such aplomb. Oh, Mama McCaskey, don't know what she's doing. It's the same thing like the Wurtzes, same thing like the cats who on the Cubs. You got to get this old blood out of here. You got to get some people who are trying to bring a positive product and not just stare at the bottom line and rate their fans out of here. If that's Mama McCaskey, she has to be forced to sell that team. Because there is a reason, and I don't know where it is in the Bear bylaws, if it's rule 2.1 of why we seem to not sign these quarterbacks who might not look like Bears look back in the 30s and 40s, but look like contemporary quarterbacks of today's NFL. There must be a bylaw that has to be abolished in the Bear handbook. Because for whatever reason, America, Russell Wilson put us on a list of 4, which we should have been honored to be on in the first place. We could not make it happen. Every other team in the NFL would have made that happen. That's the way I see it, America. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Shame on the Bears. So, hey, that's our show this week. We are hoping that you tune in to catch me next week for some more great tips on the week of sports, NCAA highlight, editorial rant, and not how did this happen or why did this happen, rant from Miliak. So we'll see you next Monday night. Thanks to the production crew. Shout out to TATN Nation. Shout out to America. Thank you to the folks who joined the chat room. Love you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Good night, America.